Oh my god, 2 videos in 1 week. What's the occasion? Well, I got some extra time on my hands, so what can I say? My friends are out partying, and I'm using my Friday night to write about cartoons. My god, I'm totally gonna die alone. Hey, wait a minute. Carl? What are you making me say? You don't even have any friends. Much less anyone who's of drinking age. What do you know? I could have friends. Yeah, totally. Carl, we are the same person. And besides, even if I wasn't, you never leave this place. Like, how would you ever have met a friend outside here? And don't say, you're my friend, because I hate your guts. I just wanted us to seem a bit more approachable, you know? Humanize us a bit. Well, don't. It's better to be feared than to be liked. Are you sure that applies here? I don't think really. It's better to be feared than liked, Carl. Okay, I get you. Good. Then let's start the video. Oh, it's already going. Just roll the damn intro. Last time we discussed how Lapis is a much more passive character who is considerably more reactive than proactive, meaning essentially that she always lets the world play with the white pieces, so to say. But then we received some questions on Reddit as to how that could be true considering all the things she has done, such as steal the ocean, warning Steven about the invasion with the Wailing Stone, and most of all trap Jasper under the sea. Those sound like very proactive things to do, one would think. Well, we won't cover the debacle with Jasper just yet, that will be in the next episode. But today we will cover everything of note from her time as a mirror all the way up until Steven heals her and lets her fly home. And we will also clear up a misconception of how passive behavior works, at least in my sense of the word. Okay, so like you all know, when Lapis is introduced the first time, it's as an inactive mirror, an object, reduced to little else than a malfunctioning tool. The symbolic meaning of this is that Lapis at this point has been stripped of her individuality and has no volition to make her own choices, something likely pretty harshly hammered into her at this point. And she stays inactive, only observing Steven as he goes about his day until he walks right into the way of Mayor Dewey's car, which is when she is forced to warn Steven so that she herself doesn't also get run over. This is something that's going to be a recurring theme in Lapis' actions, in that there is usually an external pressure that forces her to act rather than her choosing to do so out of something of her own volition. This is what I mean with passivity. To only act, or rather react, when an external force creates pressure that pushes her one way or another. This is the same kind of thing that leads to her being freed in the first place. Lapis spent several hours with Steven and had gained his trust very quickly, but she never tried to convince him to free her, because she is passive. She did not want to take that step. The only reason she was able to go free was because Steven created a do-or-die situation by revealing Lapis' sentience to the crystal gems, and Steven asked her, outright, what he could do to help her. So there is something worthy of note, which is that when she is freed, she began by reasserting herself, and thanks to Steven, take back the identity that had been stolen from her. This isn't actually much of a proactive action, so much as a strong reaction, but I'd be willing to give her half a point for pushing back and not just let herself be pushed around anymore. That symbolism behind her pushing back is also why I think that Lapis became really fond of Steven, because he is the reason she has a voice again. He is the first person in her existence, as far as we know that is, that has not exploited and used her, but rather helped and protected her. And so, because he is the person who helps to build her walls again, set her boundaries, she has no reason to keep him outside of them. But she then has to leave, both because of the external pressure of her loyalty to Homeworld and the pressure of the crystal gems wanting to bubble her, which is essentially death if they never unbubble you. Not that Lapis had to worry about them beating her even in her weakened state. But there was a pressure pushing her away, so that is not proactive either. So then she retreats and tries to find a way home. And at first glance one might think that Lapis was making her own proactive choice by choosing to return to Homeworld, but this is actually still a passive one, because she is trying to return to her old status quo, meaning to go back to what used to be normal. It's an action driven by a passive will, made even more external by her being forced to move unless she wants to be attacked. Just wanted to make that clear. And when the gang follows her when she tries to make the ocean an elevator into space, you can see that even her combat style is passive, in that she creates clones to fight for her, which are also mirroring the gems, which has some implications surrounding her imprisonment. I myself don't think I understand well enough to say more than just make note of it. A last thing to note about the fight and the clones is that I'm pretty sure Lapis didn't intend on hurting Connie and Steven, more than incapacitating them, because the Amethyst clone only sat on Amethyst when it had defeated her, even though it could have poofed her or even shattered her if Lapis wanted. So Lapis doesn't actually want to hurt anyone, she is just reacting to what comes at her. So she's responding in kind. Oh, I think I got why it's a mirror. She's responding in kind. Yeah, that kind of works. You know, I'm just gonna leave this in. So yes, Lapis doesn't actually want to hurt anyone, she is just reacting to what comes at her. And what happens when she allows Steven to the top of the elevator is that what came was a friend, which she reacted to with friendship in kind. So Lapis is a mirror, and I hadn't even really thought of making that point, but now I kind of have to. Thank you for watching. That is all I'll cover for this episode. Hey, Carl, do you think we should ask them to, like, subscribe or something? Maybe upvote us on Reddit so more people will see our content? Nah, let's not be those people. Let's just tell them, let's just let them decide for themselves. Being told to subscribe all the time is pretty annoying if you already are, too. Yes, I guess you're right. Wait, are we still rolling? No. You sure? Because the light on the camera is still